Hi. All right. So these are the Kennerton RÖGNIR, and they're expensive. Several diamond gemstones in the title. Loaned to me by a user who's like, "Hey, Zeos, I'm going to send these to you so you could assess." And I'm glad he did because Russia. This review is going to be a bit. I have 3 different pads to try out. The ones that came with stock, and then these 2, which came in this box. And tell me your headphone is made in Russia without telling me your headphone is made in Russia. I didn't know they still had machines that did that. So this is what the pads came in with the press printed letters. That's insane. You might recognize this bag it comes with as the Apos headphones. The Caspians came with the same bag. This has Kennerton. The Caspians took that off, but it's the exact same bag. The stuffing and everything. They actually came in the bag, which was nice. I like to see that. That means you're saving on packing material. So this is nice. This is nice. If you want to spell RÖGNIR, I don't know how I'm going to do this in the title. See if you can put the double dots over the title. I did spell it so that people can actually search it. And with the expense of these headphones and the accessories, here's your bag, and here's your book. Here's your book that comes as a handcrafted in St. Petersburg. These are a planar magnetic, by the way. I should probably read the not Russian. Is there non-Russian side? Okay, none of this isn't in Russian. It's fine. It's fine. I'll learn Russian. Look, we got a stamp. We've got the date, the serial time it was produced. Handmade and tested by Pavel Sovanov. Craftsman stamp. We got all sorts of official looking documentation. We've got measurements. Here are the measurements for this particular set with the perf pads, which is I think the pads that are on it. Yeah, those are the perf pads. So there you go. Comes with the measurements for the thing. This is a legit feeling operation. Yet they still use the stamped numbers. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that the first thing I noticed with these very closed back headphones, other than them looking like this, like that piece of wood, I think it's wood. I don't know. It might be quarry stone. When I put it on my head, and I had Roger Rabbit Hitchhike playing. When I put it on my head, get ready to start the review. What I usually do is I usually just take the headphone and take it off my ear a little bit. So I hit the button, I can hear the beep, beep, beeps. Because if you don't hear the beep, beep, beeps, or a beep's weird, that means you don't have the card in it, or the battery's going to die. So I usually take a closed headphone and take it off my ear. But I was wearing this for a while, and I forgot it was a closed headphone. Like, I can't hear myself speaking, but in a very strange way, there's no, like, ambient pressure. This is the first notice. This is the first thing I noticed with these headphones that, like, made them worth the 3,200 euros. Hold, please. Yeah, 3,250, and they come in Purple Heart, Teak, Silky Walnut, Dark Beach Coffee, Babunga, Walnut, and Bog Oak. And I don't know which ones these are, but they're not there because I think they make each individual set, and then you buy that set. Like, you don't get it in that wood. You get that one because they made that one in that wood. And you, like, pick it out in a list. And obviously this one is, like, insane. But I don't know if that has to do with these valves here. Like, you see that? Looks like a microphone, but it's not. Strangest thing, because I've never put on a closed headphone and just felt, with nothing playing. This is not something that's critiquing all the way the sound comes out. Just wearing them feels like you're not wearing a closed back headphone. It's like they breathe. It's like there's no pressure difference. So bravo on that. That's a pretty big accomplishment. Then we start playing with it. Now I've got the new Fio Pro. What the hell is your model number? The review's coming on the big Fio son of a bitch here. I'll link it. I got the new Geshelli Arkel 2.5 XL up here with the adapter wire, because this is the cable it comes with. I approve highly of any cable that has no split. This is a favorite thing of mine. You know, the splits are fine, but no splits even better. Nice soft fabric weave, just giant. And it goes to a balanced, and then it goes to, then you have a balanced adapter to go to 1/4 inch. My only problem is, just like on the wire for the Apos Caspian, you get this leather strap to, like, strap it together. That doesn't come off unless you unscrew it. So you have to basically like take this apart. I think you can unscrew this. Yeah, there it goes. It's got a little Phillips thing. So this is sort of permanently on there. The build, let's do build. Because we do timestamps here, Zeos. Don't fucking forget the timestamps. It's a chonky boy. You're not going to misplace these on your desk. These are thick. And it's not like the cup is huge. Like the pads, you can see the pads. It's a pretty standard. The pads have oddly different sizes. Like these feel bigger than these, and these feel the smallest of them all. But the cups are not like super massive black hole. But then you got this like one single piece of steel that goes completely over the top. So it's just one big unit, and it has enough flex in it to let you do that. Just a little bit of flex. And then this is a spring-loaded pad system with a nice big chunky pad. And then this is leather wrapped with buttons, so you could actually like unbutton it if you wanted to unbutton, because this is just covering the spring steel. And it says Kennerton audio equipment up there. And they're not super... These take up the most volume of any headphone. Again, not volume of sound, but volume of space. They're just... Look at the fucking thickness of that. And for how light they are and how they handle, they actually are pretty comfortable. I haven't had to do much like crazy bending. Like a lot of times I'll do this to just sort of get the back to come in. But the pads have enough of a camber that you just slide them on your head. So, wallpaper in the description. Next track. These headphones, they want you to know they're expensive. And they're doing a fantastic job of it. Like, I don't... Alright, let's think. I have to describe. Come on, Zeos. Creative juices. You're trying to describe a flavor. How does salted caramel taste? Salty and like a burnt sugary? That's not enough. You got to really get in there and dig. These sound lively. And it's strange. You know, what's the Russian headphone sound? You could almost put like Germans, like Berdynamics, and you got Sennheisers. You have that very like clean... Not every headphone obviously falls into the same like thing. I'm profiling headphones right now. But if you get a German headphone, you kind of have an idea of how it's going to sound. If you get a French headphone, you kind of have an idea how that's going to sound. Japanese headphones, kind of all over the place. American headphones, I don't think there's enough of them to really like get a defined sound. But what the fuck does a Russian headphone sound like? If this is what a Russian headphone sounds like, then bring them on. Because this sounds like somebody loves music and drinks a lot of vodka and somehow made a headphone that's good. Because that's the thing. I was worried listening to it that it was going to come out and just be like, bass monster or something along those lines. Just would have like the one trick that it did. And everything else was like, good enough. Because you have the look. Once you have the look like this, then you could sort of like just get by. Like someone's going to buy it. But the problem is people like me are going to review it. So you got to sell me on you and then impress me so that I could tell you how I've been impressed by you. You dig? Cool. So I guess I'm going to pause this review. I'm going to swap through the different pads real quick. Because I want to get back to these pads. Because if these are the pads that this sound like this on, I want these pads again. But I'll tell you if there's any huge difference. Then it's almost switch from the... What is your model? Why doesn't it have a model number on it? We'll switch from that to that. And maybe we'll switch some of these over here. Yeah, so be right back. Because I'm going to have to explain how like a $2,800 or $2,600 Russian headphone sounds the most musical of all the headphones. So I went with the smaller pads first, and they're not angled. By the way, I have a wallpaper temp folder for any possible future wallpapers, and I did the math on it, and I forwarded so many images here that if I did a video every other day, plus 20 sound demos every month or so, I'd have 63 years worth of images. So, sorry, I'm never going to get to these. I mean, maybe. We'll see how it goes. Anyway... These are not angled, and I can tell because I immediately put them on and I wasn't as comfortable. Now I want to do that thing right around the top. And the like massive openness, like doesn't sound like I'm wearing closebacks, even though I'm wearing closebacks and it's blocking the sound. A lot to do with these pads, these perforated, because I really didn't pay attention to them when I had just had them on. They're perforated outside and inside. And I've never really seen that. Not the back, just the front. And not even lined up, really. It's like a little bit here. Yeah, I guess it's a little lined up. It goes a little bit further forward. Similar density to the foam. Perforations in the back, much smaller perforations than those. But no perforation. Well, there are perforations on the inside. It's doing weird things. Because there's no instructions to say which way to put them, forward, backwards, up, down. It just came in box. Box with thing, and it's like, okay, figure it out. But right off the bat, don't really like them as much. I'm not saying the headphone turned bad, just this pad compared to that, want that, give me that every time. These are a little bit, I don't know, the word, not stuffy, but I guess more standard sounding. Also, the fact that the comfort sort of went down, I want to bend it. I'm not going to bend it because I know how good it feels with these on it. So far, pad change 1, not beneficial. At least I could tell you the pads change real easy if we peel this off. Just like, that's it. Very nicely manufactured pads. They got the very soft fabric here, or soft material, and then the stitching around it to keep it from getting ripped. As you can see, you can't see. They don't let you look at the actual planar driver, probably for the best. I prefer if a lot of companies did this, because I don't need to see the driver. I believe you. It's there. And I want you to protect it, because planar drivers are very thin membranes.
Fill me up.
Give me a second. Very thin membrane, so putting a piece of fabric over it is good. A very large gap here too for changing it out. I like they actually took some care in putting this in there. Oh, by the way, the wire is a mini XLR, 4-pin mini XLR. Not always a 4-pin, sometimes a 3-pin. Clicks right in place. So now I'm going to swap these out and try the other pads that are the same angularity but no perforations whatsoever, and see how those come out. These I feel like are going to give me a lot more bass, which I don't fucking want, but again, we'll find out in a second. So Pink Floyd's Lost for Words just started from the Division Bell, and I recommend you look that song up because it starts with someone opening a door, walking across a room, and then closing the door. And that's where these headphones are. I've got the other pads, the solid pads on. They definitely sound closed now. They feel closed. So it was obviously these doing that remarkable thing. I feel like I'm in this room. But that was probably the most remarkable imaging I've heard in a headphone. Someone opened a door, and I didn't just hear a sound happen here. I heard the door open, and then the walk, and then another door open and close. It was like, and it wasn't like these broad, like exaggerations. It was, in fact, I'm going to listen to it again. I'm just going to hum. Step, 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 step. Okay. Like, how would you fucking do that? Hey, what's this best? That was literally footsteps. In fact, I'm going to recommend Pink Floyd's Lost for Words for anyone who wants to know if a headphone is good for footsteps in a video game, because holy shit. If footsteps sounded like that in a video game, I'd crap my pants. I'd hear dun, 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 dun. I literally could tell the brand of shoe they're using before they're ready to knife me in the back. Shuffle. Give me something. Oh. Okay, the difference in pads between these, we're going to ignore these pads because I think these are like, I don't know what these are doing. I don't enjoy them comfort-wise or whatever they sound. And I'm going to probably go back to these. Fuck. I guess these are good headphones. I guess. I mean, I have them, by the way, running off the A90 because I figure that's the good benchmark. Until I get the benchmark, this is the good benchmark. It's so full. Like, I keep thinking, I keep forgetting what I'm listening to, like what headphone, what brand, and I'm thinking like, huh, if this was Audiophile, or if this was, you know, a Fostex headphone, or this is a Focal headphone, I would be so fucking impressed that they took this leap to this sound signature. But it's not. It's a Kennerton. And it's like, what's a Kennerton? And like, nobody knows, but you watch this video, so now you know it's audio equipment, headphones as fine art. Because they are art. It's an art piece. They picked these woods out individually. And that would have been enough, and they could have just made them sound okay. But instead, and I'm sorry to give you guys an entire review with them on my head, but these are, I really want to get across that, yeah, look fucking fantastic. Fantastic wood, great. They stain the thing, they pour it in, they solidify it. You could see the actual wood, you know, grain here where they chop this away so it would fit the thing. It doesn't fucking matter. They sound amazing. They're not that heavy either. Rodrigo and Gabriella Sartori. These are maybe the warmest planar I've ever listened to. I guess I got to state that as well, because it's planar, and there's a very specific sound to planar, and there's a very specific sound to open back planar, and closed back planars are few and far between. I've got like my ethers over there, which are non-upgraded. The Aeon closebacks, the Noirs were excellent. I would almost, if I had the Noirs here, I'd love to directly compare them. These feel like a $2,600 version of the Noirs, which I haven't heard, or I haven't gotten a chance to get the new Mr. Speakers. What the hell is the name of that one? The Batman ones. The one that look like they're straight out of, you know, Gotham City designed them. But I know Mr. Speakers, and I know the end result graph. In fact, you can just look at the graph. For you people who are into measurements, I'm not particularly into measurements, but you can see there's some shit going on here. I'm like, Zeos, that doesn't look flat. It's good. I don't want headphones to be flat. If I want headphones to be flat, we can just design one headphone, it measures flat, that's it. Print it, communism, 80 million pairs sold, and no one needs anything else. I want to see a dip at 225 for no reason, or 250 for no reason, and then like a nice lump here at 1,000, and a dip at 5K. I know for a fact from when I used to actually care about graphs, a lump at 1,000 and a dip at 5K is what's pleasurable to the human ear. We don't like 5K. Humans don't like what happens in the 5 kilohertz range. We like what happens in the 1 kilohertz range. It's like that tonal thing. The bass has a nice little whoop, and then we fade away. Once we get to like 9,000, it's like, you know what? Everything else above that's just pain. You don't want any of that. These are a fucking tremendous headphone. That graph, if I was into graphs, I'd be like, I want all my headphones to sound like this graph. But that's not how this works. That graph doesn't tell you imaging, soundstage, bass impact. It just says this is what this measures like. If computers were listening to headphones, this is all they'd need. I'm here listening to Audio Slave and bopping my head. I have LCD 5s over there. They're right there on the table. $4,000, $5,000, $10,000. I don't even know how much it fucking costs. And I could tell you right off the bat, spoiler alerts, I don't like them as much as I like these. Straight up. Like, no, nothing to do with like American pride versus Russian pride versus what. These are pleasure seekers. These remind me a little bit of the Peacocks. I have the Peacocks upstairs. Peacocks are a big open planar. And DMS fucking hated them. And I brought them to the Capital Audio Fest. I left them on the table. I left them on the table down at headphones.com. Here, guys, just let people listen to these. Because I wanted to know people's impressions of those. And people came back, and depending on what amp they had it on, which I don't think really mattered, some people were like, oh, this is good. And some people were like, holy fuck. And this reminds me of that, but a closeback. Which is strange, because they were actually pretty similar in price. But these are more technically correct even than the Peacocks. The Peacocks are all fun, all games. Where these have imaging, astonishingly good imaging, and they don't quit with just that. This isn't their only party piece. The low end, that lump you saw in the measurements, you feel it. You feel that drum, especially with these close pads versus these. You get a bit more impact. I'm going to go back now. By the way, these pads have like a reinforced, these last ones, this is like a reinforced thick vinyl. And it was actually a little bit of a pain in the ass to get on there, but oh my God, once they warm up to the body heat, the memory foam just gets so soft. Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna switch back to those. All right, we got Overseer Sparks. I moved to the Singzer, and then I moved over to the Burson. And now I'm gonna move over quickly to the IFI Zencan. And then, holy fuck, bass boost. No. Oh my God. Like that's further and further away. Holy shit. And I'm only on the second gain setting. These are not that hard to drive either. Like I worry that I have so much insane gear that I will lose touch of what is hard to drive and what's easy to drive. But something like that, which has 4 gain stages, you know, I was on 2 of the 4. And now I'm on the Gishelli Labs. Let's lower that. On low gain. Let's put back on Overseer. Hold on. Let's change my input. Oh, I'm outputting through this thing. I gotta change this to be the DAC output. Give it a second. There's a whole thing going on here. No? Okay, that's high gain. Low gain. You're plugged in. You're on DAC. Medium. Input's correct. Make go. Huh. Why you no go? Do we have another 1/4-inch output I could try? I guess they're all 1/4-inch outputs I could try. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking shitting me? Did I have a pause the entire time I did that? I'm an asshole. In fact, Zeos, edit that. No, I don't edit things. It's fine. Editing is lying. If you edit something, if someone edits and everyone edits but me, it's good because it's like something I could say like, oh, you see people editing their videos? Pfft, liars. Yeah, I'm not even at halfway on this XL, and these are blasting. Little further every time. Yeah, here's that system. Like, I get it. Like, that's cool, but I would probably remove that from mine. Ooh, I don't know. Let's try this Gishelli Labs. There we go. This takes a little more power. Yeah, no, they're mob scene. I have to eventually get up this SMSL hooked up. The HO200. All right, no more Marilyn Manson. All right. Some nice sharp cutting highs. Now, oh, the difference between going back from the closed pad to the open pad. I prefer them. These pads make a huge difference in the comfort of the headphone. I don't like usually closed back headphone. Like it gets to you after a while. You're like, oh God, I'm so closed in. I'm tempted to try these pads on other headphones. I don't know if Kennerton it must sell them, right? Because these do a remarkable job, considering it's just some perforations, of bringing that openness. These definitely seal in sound more. And you got a slightly lighter touch with these. These, not those. These. But the imaging is perfect. Like, it's to be desired. It's to be measured against, the imaging. The placement of sound is just spectacular. And I'm not hearing any harshness, thanks to that dip at the end. They might become a little bit crowded in complicated music. That's the only negative I could think of. Because like this song, which is from the Kill Bill Volume 1, this is the Flower of Carnage, and there's a lot going on, and there's some woodwinds, and it's like singing, and it all sounds like there's 7 people doing something, and they're like this close together. But that's like the only thing I could say is like when you have very, very complex, crushing music, it will show up. Let's do the theme of Glenn Burrows from Megalobox. Where am I? Oh, supple bass. Supple. Well, I guess I like Russian headphones now. Dude, that's the thing. I don't know. I haven't listened to... only Kennertons I listened to are the ones that were rebranded for APOS, the Caspians. And those were... okay. Like, they have their flaws, and they had their build quality issue, and they had their price. And, like, don't get me wrong. I still don't think that this, like, design is worth... certainly not a spring-loaded headband. That's not top tier stuff. This spring loaded, the elastic in here is going to eventually wear out, and he's going to sink lower and lower and lower in your head, and then you're going to have to worry about the clamp. But the clamp is solid enough that it should hold it on its own. They're doing a remarkable job of making a headphone that they've designed sound and feel like it's $2,600 or 3,250 euros. Certainly the wood, certainly this, like getting that custom pattern, that would be enough to sell these headphones to some people. The fact that they actually sound good and actually are comfortable and actually have a presence in the market. Like, I love the little stamp, the Kennerton stamp is in there. Boom. It says RÖGNIR, planar magnetic headphone. I think, I want to say these are worth $2,600. Just the way they sound. I've heard lots of headphones. I've heard lots of $2,000 headphones. Lots of I have $4,000 headphones sitting on a fucking shelf over there. And I know what those sound like. If you're going for engineering marvel, those are still the ones to get. The elites, the Meze Empyrean elites. But this is $1,500 less than that, and image is better than those. Like, that's the thing. Like, those are phenomenal, wide. Oh my god, event. And these have very specific traits that I've fallen in love with. I guess the word is love. So I gotta pack this up and send it back to its owner. I have to sound demo these. Shit. How the fuck am I gonna sound demo these? I guess I'll do it with my sound demo rig. I can't keep going. I don't know what else I could tell you. Because I'm trying to watch this review back in my head, because I just recorded, 3-4 times I stopped, and I'm like, okay, Zeos, what did you actually talk about? You talked about how they look, how they're built, how much they cost, what they weigh, the different pad options. You like the wire. It's good when I like the wire. When I like the wire in something and you don't have to exchange it, you don't have to buy a hard audio cable or something, that's automatically worth $300 because people are going to overspend on wires. I like how thick it is too. Look at that. It feels like a real substantial cable, but isn't like heavy or stupid. I wish they used a different system than this spring, because I feel like that's going to be the first thing to go. But everything else is stellar. Everything else, the way this feels when you slide up and down, the actual clamp, the angularity of it all, the way the pads fit, and then the sound comes in, and I don't think anything equals them for imaging, impact and imaging, the two eyes, because they have that low end that just like it slaps you in the balls a little bit. You ever been listening to a song with headphones and you're standing there, for some reason you're standing, and someone just comes up behind you and they go, just slaps you in the balls. That's what these do with low end. You just get to like, oh, I don't know if I hated that or not. Oh, did I? Oh, and then you start feeling it afterwards. That's the sort of intoxicating low end these have, without using bass boost or anything. In fact, I'm going to turn the bass boost off on this. Really surprised how well it sounded on the IFI Zencan. I mean, there's a reason that Zencan is here on my desk. But every once in a while, I'll put like a $2,600 set of headphones on it and go, shit, that's the only amp anyone ever needs. So yeah, thank you to the user who sent these in. You fucked me up a little bit, just a little bit. I kind of want to set from a wall. I want to set to pull out, because when I go, these have really good imaging. I wonder if they're better than the RÖGNIR. And I won't know, because these will be home with their owner, unless I say they got lost. Delay on the yard sale video, yard sale shipping, by the way, which doesn't matter because this video is coming out way late. Maybe it's coming out soon. I don't know. If it's still January 2022, yard sale shipping has been delayed. I'm going to do a couple more songs. Not that one. I love Mob Psycho. How did it just do a Mob Psycho song and then another Mob Psycho song when I've got 27,000 songs? What are the odds of it doing 2 in a row? Doesn't seem right. Oh. I really need to review another shitty headphone. because it's gonna be all top tier stuff, and you guys are gonna be like, oh, Zeos. Yeah, there's no flaws in the sound of these. Someone will say they're not detailed enough for that money, and I'm gonna be like, fuck you. Fuck, check my watch. You. Because not everything needs to be a detail horse. Some things are about other aspects of sound and listening. If you want the highest detail headphones, go get Abyss. Any of the Abyss. Abyss stuff is just pure detail. But you know what they're not? Imaging, soundstage, comfort, any of those things. I mean, they're special headphones. I've been to the factory where they make them, but they're not made out of like babunga wood with weird Russian stamp letters. Oh yeah, I'm gonna miss these. All right, everybody go out and download or legally stream Laszlo. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. This actually sound, is this Russian? I'm done. Wallpaper, description, picked randomly. I'm like, that girl's cute and she's a devil. Let's put her on this. So we could have our wood matching stack here with the Geshelli. And then you got this and you got that and you got all these pads and you got the fucking machine printed that. And I'm done. I'm Zeospantera. This has been a Z review. There's a sound demo linked in the description. That's the second channel. Other things will happen there, like reviews and possibly other things. Like, I really want to make that channel. It's got like 4,500 subscribers now. Get it to 5,000. Let's get it to 10,000. And then I'm going to see if I can do other actual activities, like maybe go places, do things that aren't product reviews. I got enough product reviews for fucking eons. Like 63 years worth of wallpapers for reviews. So either I'm going to have to start having those just shuffle during reviews and let people into that chat, or send them over to the other channel and then do like, maybe I kind of want to go to the Ohm factory in Brooklyn. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe factory tours, things like that. Zeos goes out in a boot. Anyway, I'm done. Links to these. I don't think you can get them in that exact color because that's the only one that's that exact color. But Patreon and Subscribestar if you want to see these reviews early. Participate in yard sales. Get access to lossless sound demos and the sound demo archive. $10 a month gets you in the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat where you could ask me any questions you'd like. I usually don't answer questions anywhere else. Like, if you message me on Patreon, I love you. I've seen the messages. Every time I open one up, first of all, Patreon's messaging system is a hot garbage. And if I open it, it counts it as read. I can't mark it as unread. And then if I go to do something else and don't come back to it, it's gone. And it's gone. And then there's 200 other messages that took its place. So if you want to ask me questions, the patronage chat's where it's at. Patronage chat's where it's at. I feel like there's a marketing in there somewhere. Yes, that. You also get into a behind-the-scenes swap meet just for patrons of that tier. And if you want to do Subscribestar, it's the same benefits. And wallpaper and links and hi-fi guides. I want to thank our sponsors on hi-fi guides. Currently, only sponsor is the Deconi boys, who don't have a pad for this, but they do have a pad for the new Edition XS and the Arias and the Anandas. So I'll be doing that. Fucking nightmare. It's a nightmare because I have to take every headphone and make it into 4 headphones. No, I'm sorry, 5 headphones versus a stock headphone. So that's just too many headphones. But yeah, I'm done. You're done. We're done. Thank you. I'll see you in 2 days and good night.